Hey everyone, I am Dennis. Today we are talking about a feature that has been generating huge buzz in the developer community, something many engineers are calling black magic, Claude Code Artifacts. If you still think AI coding is just printing black and white code in a terminal, this episode will completely change your mind. On June 18th, 2026, Anthropic launched a beta feature with a simple core concept: turn what AI does in your terminal into a live shareable web page. As AI code generation becomes more powerful, the bottleneck in software engineering is no longer writing code, it is making sure others can understand what was written. You run ClaudeCode for an hour, it refactors 3 services, modifies 20 files, runs over 100 tests. Now how do you help your colleagues, your manager, your client understand what you just did? Pasting terminal output to Slack, taking screenshots for Confluence, that is the problem Claude Code Artifacts solves. Let me define this clearly. Claude Code Artifacts publishes results from your Claude Code session to a private, real-time interactive web page on Claude.ai. Key points. 1. It comes from your Claude Code terminal session, not the web chat. It reads your codebase, your Git history, your MCP tools, your test results. 2. It is a real-time interactive web page, not a static screenshot, not a PDF, a real HTML page with CSS styles, JavaScript interactions, SVG charts, sliders, and buttons. 3. It can only be shared within your organization. You must log into Claude.ai and be a member of the same organization. 4. It is completely different from regular Claude.ai artifacts. Regular chat artifacts have been available since 2024, can be publicly shared, and work on all plans. Claude Code Artifacts launched in beta June 2026, requires team or enterprise plan, and has no public sharing option. These are fundamentally different products. You might wonder how this works behind the scenes. Step 1. You tell Claude Code, create an artifact showing this PR diff. Claude creates a local HTML or Markdown file in your project directory. It runs entirely on your machine, reading your code, pulling your Git diff, using your design system colors and fonts. Step 2. ClaudeCode asks, may I publish this file to a private page on Claude.ai? You approve. The first time requires authorization, subsequent updates do not. Step 3. Claude uploads the file and generates a private URL. Your browser automatically opens the page. Step 4. The coolest part, live updates. You say, add a breakdown by region below the summary chart. Claude edits the local file and republishes to the same URL. Any colleague viewing that page sees the update happen in real time without losing their scroll position. Let me share 3 real stories from the community. Story 1. The 9 a.m. stand-up meeting. Imagine you are an SRE. At 8 a.m. production servers start throwing errors. Stand-up is at 9. In the past, you would frantically dig through logs, then stumble through a verbal report during the meeting. Now, you open Claude Code and ask it to investigate the logs. Claude automatically generates an artifact, a live web page with a clear instant timeline, suspicious code commits, and a chart showing the error rate spike. You drop the private link into the team chat and go grab coffee. During that time, Claude discovers new Shensor and auto-updates the same page twice. At 9 a.m., no one needs to share their screen. Every manager and engineer is already looking at the same real-time war room dashboard. This is a real case shared by Anthropic's official blog. Story 2. PR review without cloning branches. You know the pain of reviewing a colleague's code. Stash your work, git clone their branch, run it locally. Too much trouble. Now the PR author uses Claude to generate a PR walkthrough artifact page. As a reviewer, you click the link and see an inline annotated code diff. Critical vulnerabilities are color-coded. An architecture diagram is included. Reviewing code becomes like reading a beautifully designed interactive magazine. Story 3. The SaaS founder who stopped sending pitch decks. A Reddit r/SaaS founder shared his wild experiment. He completely stopped sending PDFs or slide decks. Every proposal, client report, and project update was a Claude-generated artifact web page. The result? Clients loved it. Everyone was tired of static slides. He even discovered his proposals were being forwarded internally to 3 senior executives he never sent them to. The experience was that compelling. However, I need to be honest. Claude Code Artifacts is not a silver bullet. Anthropic's documentation states clearly, an artifact is a capture of work, not an application. This is the key to understanding the feature. Strict limitations. 1. Absolutely no external network requests. The content security policy is extremely strict. No external scripts, style sheets, fonts, or images. No fetch, XHR, or WebSocket calls. All CSS and JavaScript must be embedded directly in a single HTML file. 2. No backend whatsoever. Cannot save form input, cannot call APIs during browsing, cannot authenticate visitors. 3. Single page only, no relative links. Multi-chapter content must use in-page anchors. 4. 16 MB size limit. A rendered page cannot exceed 16 megabytes. Large raster images can easily exceed this. These limitations are intentionally designed to ensure artifacts remain snapshots of work, not back-end services running inside your corporate network. A fascinating perspective comes from well-known Python developer Simon Willison. He wrote an article titled "The Unreasonable Effectiveness of HTML." Simon said that since the GPT-4 era, he trained himself to ask AI to output only Markdown because Markdown's token cost is far lower than HTML. But he has changed his mind. He discovered that when you ask Claude to output HTML, Claude does more than format text. It embeds SVG vector charts, interactive sliders, and in-page navigation. HTML transforms AI output from flat text into a rich, interactive, and highly explainable medium. This 30-year-old technology has become the most efficient communication interface between humans and AI. Simon's conclusion: in the AI era, HTML's importance is rising, not falling. He now uses this pattern everywhere, asking AI to format output as HTML whether explaining code, drawing charts, or analyzing vulnerabilities. Of course, the community is not entirely positive. Complaint 1. A developer angrily posted that Artifacts is the worst update ever and should be removed immediately. The reason? Out-of-control token consumption. HTML costs 2 to 4 times more tokens than Markdown. Worse, Claude sometimes auto-generates unwanted HTML pages during debugging, burning through tokens and exhausting the context window early. Complaint 2 is more thought-provoking. A team used ClaudeCode vibe coding to rapidly build over 20 internal tools and mini applications. They ran perfectly on localhost. The number successively deployed to cloud production? 0. Why? Because once you leave the pure coding phase and encounter Docker containerization, database setup, and security compliance, non-engineering vibe coders become completely stuck. AI can write code. AI cannot bridge the massive gap of infrastructure and deployment. Artifacts face the same issue. Your dashboard looks beautiful in an artifact, but it cannot connect to databases, process forms, or solve real customer problems. 3 takeaways to close. 1. The bottleneck in AI collaboration has shifted from generation to communication. When AI can write an entire service in minutes, the real challenge is no longer whether it can be written, but whether the team can understand and trust the output. Artifacts are Anthropic's answer to this problem. Turn AI output into team-consumable communication assets automatically. 2. The revival of static HTML as a communication format. Markdown dominated for years because it saves tokens, but as context windows expand to millions of tokens, HTML's advantages become clear. It presents complex information in richer ways. Simon Willison now uses HTML everywhere, not just in Claude Code. 3. A new deployment gap has emerged. AI can write code, but deployment still requires humans. This gap is spawning new tools and services. For us as tech creators, Artifacts offer an entirely new way to demo. No more recording screen captures or pasting screenshots into slides. Just ask AI to generate an interactive web page link and share it with your audience. I am Dennis. See you next time.